Hey guys, we have a fun planting project today. We have these beautiful pots that we're planting up and we're putting irrigation in all of them. And the palette is really fun. It's a lot of blues, a lot of pinks, a lot of purples. And I'm gonna show you guys everything we're using. It's a beautiful morning and I am so excited at how these are gonna turn out. Let's start off with these irises. This is gonna kind of be like our focal piece or like our grassy element. It's gonna give a really nice structure to the garden, and then it's gonna bloom in the springtime with these beautiful cream colored flowers. So I'm so excited. It's an African iris. That's white. It says white, but it's an African white iris. It's gonna be so pretty. The stalk is gonna smell so good, and it's gonna bloom this winter. It's a double flowering stalk. All of these are double flowering. And you guys, this is one of my favorite smelling flowers that we grow here in the wintertime in Arizona. And I always love adding or tucking in a few in every container just to offer a really gorgeous scent. And then for our purple elements, we're adding a gorgeous ornamental cabbage. It's a Osaka red, really pretty red purple color. And then our trailing element is this lavender labularia, the alyssum. And look how beautiful this color is, you guys. It was kind of hard to find at the nurseries. They didn't have very many of them, but I'm so excited that I snagged these. I think it's gonna be really pretty when it fills in. We have these fuchsia, cherry red, more fuchsia color geraniums, really gorgeous, and the leaves are gonna be so pretty as a nice little textural element in here as well. Super gorgeous. Sky blue lobelia. I love this light blue color. And this one actually has a little like pastel purple in it, which is going to be pretty, but this is going to be really pretty filler in here. We have some cyclamen for our shade pots, some purple lilac, and then this bicolor rose. That's going to be really gorgeous. As a trailing element, we have this, what is this? Plectranthus. It's plectranthus. It's kind of like an ivy that we use for like the sun, that handles the sun pretty well. Really gorgeous with that white fringe. I think that's gonna look really pretty against the pot there, just trailing down. And then for a little bit more height, we have this beautiful lavender. It's a fern leaf lavender, Lavandula pinnata. So anyways, we're gonna get potting. I'll show you guys a little test one. We did pot one of them up. I'll show you guys how this is looking. The cabbage, we always face the cabbage towards the focal center. So the focal center is facing this way. This is where people are going to view it. So we always face the cabbages towards that direction at a little bit of an angle so that we can see this beautiful rosette well. And then we have obviously the lobelia, not lobelia, the labularia, the alyssum, the lavender, the iris. Look how pretty this iris looks as a little gives a little height to this garden, especially from back here. We want a little bit of height to draw the eye up, and then the geranium in the back. So we're gonna get potting everything, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like at the end. This is the before right here. We have 7 pots in the sun right here, and then we have 2 pots here in the shade. We will eventually pot up the planters underneath the palm trees, but we're not doing that today. We're gonna do some irrigation work, and we gotta run some lines through there. So we're gonna do that another day, but these pots are gonna be absolutely beautiful by the time we're done with them. So the irrigation guys are coming in a few days, but we wanted to make sure the pots were all ready to be hooked up for them. So we ran a 1/4-inch drip line right here, all the way through, and snaked it out the bottom of the pot, as you guys can see here, right here, so that they can just hook it up right here. We put these pavers here. They actually had some extra pavers that match the travertine tiles here. So we lifted up this pot so it wouldn't pinch this 1/4-inch tubing. That's really important. We don't want the tubing to pinch because we want all of our plants to be watered. So we ran the tubing. We're going to run a 1/4-inch drip tube here that will have the emitters in it, and then we'll plant up all the beautiful flowers. So we just ran our 1/4-inch tubing. All we did was put in a barbed tee and then ran 2 rings around this pot. We're gonna plant them right in between these emitters, and this emitter tubing actually has emitters every 6 inches, so it gives nice even coverage throughout the whole pot. And we do 2 rings just so we get a really good saturation throughout this entire container. Okay, so we're putting the iris in the back of the pot just so it gives it a little bit of height back here. I actually never used irises before, but I thought it was such a fun idea when I went into the nursery. Like, it gives a really pretty like spike element, but it also blooms in the springtime. So I think it's a really great win-win having this back here, and then we'll fill in with all of our pretty flowers right here, and then it'll be super gorgeous having everything spill over the sides of this pot. Sometimes it's tricky finding things that'll spill down low enough, so having enough spillers in these taller, skinnier pots is important to make it look a little bit more proportional. Whenever we put plants in a container, we always make sure that we have a thriller, filler, and spiller. So this iris that we have back here is the thriller. It really gives a nice textural element that gives height to the back of the planter. And then we also make sure we give a nice amount of spillers. So we love using things like this lobularia. It's a alyssum, this gorgeous lavender color that will spill over the edge of this pot. When you're dealing with taller, skinnier pots, it's important to have things that will spill over on the sides, just so that we have some really good textural elements, and it makes the pot feel not so narrow. It makes it really feel nice and full. We always add this kale in, tucking towards the center where people sit outside, just so they can see this beautiful rosette wherever they're sitting. Isn't that pretty? This has definitely been one of my favorite flowers to add into all of our containers this winter. It adds such a gorgeous textural element, especially in the winter time. I know it's kind of colder in the winter time and the days are shorter, so these kales really thrive here when it's like that. Even these geraniums, I love adding geraniums into containers, but even when they're not blooming, they look like little lily pads in the garden, so they're really fun to have tucking into all of our containers. This is a really pretty fuchsia color that I've been absolutely in love with this year as well. Gorgeous. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit of lavender. This lavender adds a really pretty scent and kind of airiness to this container. It's just really whimsical and adds kind of more of like a cottage style feel to all of our containers that we love putting in here. Look at that. Oh, it's so pretty. And then this lobelia, it's a sky blue lobelia. It's gonna fill in so beautifully. I love adding the baby blues. I know the dark blues are much more easier to find in the nurseries, but these baby blue colors, like the lobelia and the violas, are just such a beautiful like pastel vibe that are great for the winter colors. We have all of the sun planters potted up. They look so good. We have 3 over here, 1, 2, 3, 2 right here, and then 2 more over here. And then we're gonna work on these 2 shade planters in just a bit. But I'm so happy with how everything is turning out. I just can't wait for all of them to fill in. And these are the shade planters. They turned out so well. We have this ivy. It's just an indoor like houseplant ivy. We have this cabbage or kale, and then some cyclamen, and then just a spike to give us a little drama. We have 1 here, and then 1 over here. Kyle's helping us clean up a little bit, but these are gonna look so good. Yes. We're back the next day. We're planting underneath this beautiful palm tree. We're planting a lot of shade-loving flowers like these cyclamen and lobelia, because this palm tree actually gives a lot of shade, and it faces north here. So a lot of cyclamen, we have lobelia in stock, and we're kind of matching colors that we planted in the containers. So a lot of purples, blues, and whites down here. So we're going to get things planted up, run some irrigation. I'll show you guys what it looks like when we're done. We're just done planting. We put in the 1/4-inch tubing with the emitters every 6 inches, and everything looks so good, you guys. We planted lobelia in stock on the edges, and I think that was a beautiful touch. So anyways, thanks for watching, you guys, and I will see you in the next video.